guys, it's Lydia. Welcome back to my channel. It's 7 p.m. right now and I'm trying really hard not to take a nap. So if I'm looking a little rough, it's because I'm feeling a little rough. My video, What's in My Stripper Bag, blew up. I think it's at 100,000 views now. I might be wrong. I've been getting a lot of questions about my stripper past, and that's something that I talk about sometimes, but not super often. And I figured that I should tell you guys the story of my first night stripping ever. Before I became a stripper, I watched so many videos of girls explaining their first night or just random stripper advice, so hopefully this helps someone. If not, I hope that you enjoy watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and do all of that. Follow my social medias, they'll be down in the description below, and let's just get into it. So in 2017, when I was 19 years old, I lived in Beaumont, Texas, and a lot of people know that I lived in Texas, but I never talk about exactly where. And the club that I worked at was called Temptations. I guess I'm giving them free promo, but whatever. It's a really small club, and I doubt like you guys will ever find yourselves in Beaumont, Texas. Anyways, so my friend, and I'll just call her Abby in this story time because that was her stripper name, Abby would fly out from California to come and see me, and she would strip and I'd be working at like Buffalo Wild Wings or being a nanny or Longhorn Steakhouse. I had like 3 jobs at the time and I was just fucking over it. And she would go to the club and she would come back with all this money, and I'm like, I'm busting my ass at Buffalo Wild Wings getting yelled at over mild sauce. Like, I need to get the fuck out of here. I need to do something more. And so one day I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the club with you. Why not, you know? And I had worked in strip clubs before. I was a waitress at a Deja Vu club. Like, I knew what the atmosphere was like. I had just never been a stripper. And this was a cabaret, is that how you say it? Cabaret? And so it was only topless. They served alcohol, and it was a very like low-key small club. Like, this town is pretty small. It's outside of Houston, but it's still pretty small. So we had to go get our dancers licenses because we could only strip for like, I think 1 day without it. And so we went and we did that, and it costed, I want to say, less than $100. Like, it wasn't very much at all. And then we went into the club and they didn't even make me audition. So that's one thing that I think I got lucky with, is the fact that I didn't have to audition. They just saw me and hired me. I don't know. And they asked me what my stripper name was, and I literally didn't even think of one before I got to the strip club. So Abby was like, hey, my first ever stripper name was Summer. You can just take my stripper name. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm Summer. A lot of people ask if I went by Lydia in the club, and no, I didn't. My fake name was Summer. And so we got there at like 4 p.m. because I was really nervous and I wanted to pay a low entrance fee. I think the fee was only like $12 at 4 p.m. and it goes up throughout the night. So if you come at like 9 p.m. you have to pay like $80. And so we hung around. I was super nervous. I got ready and I asked if she would go on stage with me for my first set, and she did, and it was a lot of fun. Obviously, like, I was really shy, really awkward. I still remember the feeling of being on stage and looking out there, and like the dancers and all the employees were looking at me because they're like, oh, who's this new girl? That's just how it is. Like, I remember watching New Girls like that and being like, who is this? What am I watching? Yeah, I was really shy, really awkward, but I was cute enough to where it passed. Like, if I wasn't, I don't want to sound conceited, but if I wasn't so cute, people would probably be like, wow, she sucks. And so then customers started coming in, and like I said, I was used to the strip club atmosphere because of working at Deja Vu Club as a waitress. So I kind of just sat with them and talked, and luckily Abby was there, and she was like my fucking soulmate at the time, and so it was really nice. So I was talking to a customer, and then I went to the back and I was just like, fuck, I've never done a lap dance before. I've never practiced a lap dance before. What do I do? And luckily this dancer came up to me, and their name was Mercy, and I actually follow them on Twitter. Hey, Mercy. And they gave me my first lap dance ever. They took me into the back room, and there was this couch, and sat me down, and they were like, I'm gonna give you a lap dance. And it was so hot. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if I would have had money, I should have tipped the fuck out of them. And so Mercy was just like, you gotta be really slow and sensual, and a lot of it is visual, so stand in front of them and go super slow, and you can draw out the dance that way, and all of these things. And they were showing me like, you can shake your booty on them like this, make sure they don't touch you, hands to their side. If they're respectful, you can have a little more fun, which that's true. The guys that were respectful got way better lap dances. The ones that were grabby got a grab, and then I walked the fuck out. So yeah, that was just really, really hot. Shout out to Mercy. And that made me feel like less nervous, because I was like, okay, now I know a couple tips. Well, I went on stage again, and keep in mind it was like 4 or 5 p.m. so the club was pretty dead. I went on stage and I was doing floor work, and floor work is basically just anything on the floor, not on the pole, on the floor. And so I was on my hands and knees, and I felt my fucking knee dislocate. Like, it popped out of place and then it popped back in. Keep in mind that I literally had to have knee surgery like a year later. But anyways, and so that really, really hurt. And I don't think I realized at the time because of the adrenaline, but then for the rest of the night, when I did lap dances, it hurt so bad to bend my knee. Oh my god, like, my knee literally dislocated. Like, that's the luck that I had. And so I went in the back and told my friend, I was like, my knee is swelling up, like, I don't know how long I can be here, like, I'm having a lot of fun, but like, you know, I can just Uber home, I don't want to like knock your hustle. And she was like, no, just let me know how you're feeling, whatever. And so I went and did some more dances, and I was not very good because my knee was in so much pain. And in Texas, there's a law where if you take your shoes off, this is what they said, and it is a law, but they put it like this. If you take your shoes off in a dance, it's considered prostitution under the law. So we had to do all of our dances in our high-ass heels, and if you're a dancer that does dance without heels, you know the difference. Like, you can dance way better without heels. And so that was pretty shitty. My club served alcohol and I was only 19, but like never mind, I said where I worked. So yeah, there's that. So that was like fun. I had fun talking to people. Everyone was like, who are you? Where are you from? I know that you're not from here. That's what they kept saying to me. They're like, I know you're not from here. I was like, of course I knocked my tripod over, so this is a little sideways, I'm sorry. Basically, after a little bit, the nerves wore off, and management was nice to me, and everyone was really cool, and I started feeling like, okay, I need to go home, I need to get a knee brace, like, I'm good. And so I had been there for like maybe 4 hours, and I went in the back and I counted my money, and I found out that you have to tip the house mom, you have to tip the DJ, and I think whoever walks you out to the car. They said 10% for the house mom, 10% to the DJ, and then whatever you want to give security. And I'm thinking, what? What? Like, I didn't ask the house mom for shit. She didn't help me at all. Like, she was just there. And I had heard some things, but that's tea for another day. And so I lied about how much I made, obviously. And I tipped the house mom probably like $10. I tipped the DJ like $10, and then the security like $5. And I went on my way, and I went home, and I was feeling really good because I had just made like how much I made in a week at Buffalo Wild Wings in one night. I counted up all my money, and my first night ever stripping, in 4 hours I made $350, which was like insane for me because I was so struggling, like, and that was probably like half of my rent at the time because Texas is cheap. I felt super proud of myself. I got out of my awkward little bubble and I made money, and I kept doing it for a little while until I moved to LA. But yeah, that's the story of my first night stripping. Nothing really crazy happened other than dislocating my knee, and just the atmosphere of the club was a whole new experience as a stripper. If you guys want to hear more stories from my stripper adventures, because I have a lot, unfortunately I was very reckless, definitely comment below and let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!